Howdy howdy, my name is John, and this video is my November 2020 book haul. First, I'm going to start with the books that I bought new. If you've watched my bookshelf book tag video, you've already seen this book. This is Devices and Desires by K.J. Parker. This is the first book in the Engineer trilogy. The next book I bought is Under a Velvet Cloak by Piers. I'm showing you the back of this book because in my October favorites book tag, we all agreed that the cover of this book isn't very good, so I didn't want to subject you to it again. But I did find a reasonably good deal on eBay for it. It's in really good shape, so went ahead and got it. And when I do the Incarnations of Immortality series, I now have the complete series. I had really good luck this month when I visited my local thrift stores. My dad already had a couple in this series already. This is a Harvard Classics Deluxe Edition, and I believe this was published in the 30s. Like I said, he already had two. I knew he did not have this one, and the thrift store had a selection. I wasn't sure which ones he had and which ones he didn't. So I knew he didn't have this one. I went ahead and purchased this one. This one is a collection of works by Plato, Epicticus, and Marcus Aurelius. The other one that the thrift store had was 2 Years Before the Mast by R.H. Dana Jr. And I went back to the thrift store with the intention of buying just two books. This one and this big old sucker, which is a book about Britain and Germany before World War I by Brent Massie. When I went to pick up those two books, right beside of one of them was this book on emotional intelligence by Daniel Goleman. This is a fairly popular book, but I haven't had a chance to read it yet. On Mondays, the thrift store has a deal where you can buy one and get one free. So I went in search for another book to pair with this. I wound up finding this 4-volume set. It's Chronicles of the Cheysuli, and it's by Jennifer Robinson. This was actually written back in the 80s. And I've not seen very much fantasy by female authors from this time period. I figured I'd give it a chance. Each of these books is actually two novels in one, and this is the complete set, so I thought I'd give it a try. I also found this 2-volume set of Shogun. This is a historical fiction that, if I remember correctly, Alan from the Library of Alexandria has talked about before. I looked for a long time to find another paperback to pair with the one that I'd already picked up with, and I finally settled on this, Ron Paul Speaks. And it's really just a collection of his quotations, basically just the best of his sound bites. They also had another set of classic works. I think these were published in either the 30s or 40s as well. And I just grabbed the ones that looked the most interesting to me. Last of the Mohicans, Autobiography of Benjamin Franklin, Travels of Marco Polo, and Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. I found a set of books relating to the American Civil War. This one's a hardcover of Gone with the Wind. Don't you just hate these movie tie-in book covers? This one's a collection of short stories set during the Civil War. And then this is Don't Know Much About the Civil War by Kenneth C. Davis. Then I got this little book. It's just a little over 100 pages. John C. Maxwell, Leadership 101. This is an old textbook, Training the Speaking Voice by Virgil Anderson. This was published in 1942. Now, I'm an electrical engineer, not an industrial engineer, but industrial engineers are known for their time and motion studies, which is the title of this textbook. This is a book I've seen recommended a couple of times on BookTube. This is Old Man's War by John Scalzi. The next one is Earth by David Brin. This is another author that I've heard about on BookTube. I don't know that I've heard anything about this particular novel, though. The next book is Wild by Cheryl Strayed. This is about a woman who hiked the Pacific Coast Trail, and it was later turned into a movie with Reese Witherspoon. I've neither seen the movie nor read this book. This is Britt Marie Was Here by Frederick Bachman. I've heard a lot about the author. I've not actually heard that much about this particular novel. Given how popular he is, I'm excited to give this a read. This is Sully. It was originally published as Highest Duty. This is the autobiography of Charles Sullenberger, who of course was the pilot that landed the plane on the Hudson. This is Bowling Alone by Robert Putnam. This book made a big splash when it debuted several years back, and I've never had the chance to read it. This is Time, Great People of the 20th Century, and it's a collection of biographies of different groups of people. You have politicians, you have business leaders, you have artists, and several other categories as well. This book's in really great shape, and I'm excited to go through this book. This is a box set of the Seagull Reader literature, and it has 3 separate books. There's a book of poetry, a book of plays, and a book of short stories. And I've decided that, since I've started this, it would be nice to kind of look at some of the great works of literature and kind of learn how to read and analyze stories, given that I'm not an English major. Next is Serenity, and this is a novelization of the movie. The movie followed the TV series Firefly. Next, I have Reckoning Infinity by John E. Sith. I don't know anything about this book. It's obviously a science fiction, but I figured I'd give it a try. Next is My American Journey by Colin Powell. Colin Powell is probably better known now as the first Secretary of State under the second George Bush. But in the early 90s, he was the general that led the first Gulf War. And this book covers his life up until 1995. I also got the autobiography of General H. Norman Schwarzkopf, who led the ground forces during the first Gulf War. The next 3 are novels that have been quite popular, but I haven't had a chance to read yet. First is The Kite Runner by Khaled Hosseini. Next is Paper Towns by John Green. And next is The Road by Corman McCarthy. Next, I have Livy, The Early History of Rome. I'm actually planning on reading this in January. Next, I have Tom Brokaw, The Greatest Generation. This is talking about the generation that was roughly born from about 1905 to 1924. This is the generation that grew up during the Depression and World War II. And my dad actually happened to be part of this. He was born in 1924, and this book is a short biography of a number of different people that were born during this time period. It actually covers my mother's parents as well, as they were born in 1910 and 1913. This book's actually signed by the author, and it looks to be a first edition. The last thing I have to show you, I'm really excited about, as this is a set of the original D&D rules. I've never played the original D&D. When I first started to play, it was the advanced D&D, which in today's terminology would be second edition. These aren't in the best shape. They include some Premade Adventures. This one actually has some old character sheets stuck in it. Can you believe I got all of that for only $3? Did I say that was the last thing I had to show you? Well, I lied, just a little. Carrie from Very Literary Carrie has very kindly asked me that I should include some JFK books in my selection. And so while I was at the thrift store, I actually happened to notice a couple. The first one is The Making of the President, 1960. This is by Theodore H. White, and it covers the 1960 election. The last one is Kennedy. This is a biography by Theodore Sorensen, and this edition's pretty neat because it actually includes a little book report from the Book of the Month Club and an advertisement for the Book of the Month Club as a bookmark and as something that you can give a friend so that they can sign up for the Book of the Month Club. That's it for this month's book haul. Let me know in the comments if there's anything that you're excited to see me read. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.